So at an event that focuses on two of my very favorite topics, which is UX and consumerism. And it just happens that I spent quite a big chunk of my free time in the past 3 years thinking, researching, learning about the intersection of these two topics, which in my perspective is e-commerce and online shopping. And my journey started with my master thesis when I looked into how persuasive design influences overconsumption or excessive consumption. And I found the topic so fascinating that I couldn't stop. I kept working on it. And now I have a project that I call Kind Commerce, which is really about like collecting all the learnings and the findings to help user UX designers to design and build more mindful shopping experiences. So that's what we are going to talk about today. Well, I'm going to talk about it. You're going to listen. And we already had a talk with a similar topic from Andrea. So there will be a bit of an overlap, but I hope and think that I can add on to what already been said. So I wanted to start the presentation with a few pictures, just to show you that we have too much stuff. And in general, I think like how we think about all this stuff is that access is good. We can buy anything with one click. We have freedom of choice. We can express our identities, whatever. But what we forget is that all this excess stuff doesn't really bring value to our lives anymore. I mean, how joyful can it be to open your 50th Christmas present? I don't think that's the joy anymore. Indeed, all this excess stuff just becomes burden in the form of clutter and credit card debt. And of course, it's not only us who suffers from the excessive consumption, but the planet. And of course, I'm talking about the CO2 emission and the environmental damage that happens through the production, distribution, and disposal of all this excess stuff. So in order to be nicer to our environment, probably nicer to ourselves, we need to reduce our consumption, and we can reduce the impact on the planet. And I am an optimist. So when I'm showing this visualization of the climate crisis or like a climate change timeline, what I want to highlight to you and what I want you to see is the opportunity. That today we are at a critical moment when what we do today and in the coming very few years is going to determine which of these two paths we are going down on. And of course, we want to go down on the lower path. That's a much nicer climate. So we really have to do everything in our power to increase our impact on the environment, increase our emissions, which we can do through decrease, not increase. decrease our emission, decrease our impact, which we can do through decreasing our consumption. And we can do that both as private individuals, which is very important, but even more important to do that through our design. So as designers, the products that we design are going to go out in the wild and influence hundreds, if not thousands or millions of people's actions and decisions. And that is exactly where e-commerce comes into the picture. Because how e-commerce is designed is going to influence how much people are consuming, what they are buying. And the sad reality is that today e-commerce is designed to maximize sales. In every step of the user journey, the user is pushed and nudged to put more stuff in their basket, which takes us very much on the upper path, which we obviously want to avoid. So we need to change things. But to illustrate what I mean with when I say that currently e-commerce is designed to push people to buy more, I wanted to bring you an example. So I chose Shein, and I'm guessing most of you know Shein. If you don't, God bless your soul. I think you're very lucky. And I hope it stays like that. But Shein is one of the worst fast fashion companies, and they really want to sell as much as possible. So as the user arrives to their landing page, they are already primed to think that the more they buy, the better. Because the more money they spend, the higher discount they are going to get. They have a reward to consume more. And as they move toward through the purchasing journey, for example, on the product page, they are pushed to make hasty decisions with usually false sense of urgency. And of course, their choices are confirmed with social proof. And even in the checkout, they are once again pushed to add more stuff into their basket. For example, again, being reminded that there is a reward of free shipping if they buy more things. And there are different ways she makes it super easy for them to just like pop whatever into their basket. So we already talked about the negative impact on the planet, the negative impact on the user, but all this pushy design is also hurting or can hurt the business, because studies show that users feel the desperation, they feel tricked and manipulated, and they can decide that they are not going to come back to buy from this company again. So it can really hurt businesses on the long term.